the establishment. Two former EPT champions. A player with his eyes on winning the Triple Crown. And the online qualifiers. Looking to become one of the EPT greats. The elite and the untested come face to face in Monaco. The PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final main event has passed the halfway point, and the remaining 41 players will be looking to change gears and accumulate chips. Last time, the post-bubble bust-out bonanza drastically reduced the field.
Good luck, everyone.
Former finalists and past winners were not immune, leaving two former EPT champs.
Oh, good, I'm good.
While the online qualifiers made the biggest strides, with Malta Mernick becoming chip leader. We're in the tunnel now, racing towards the final table. 41 remain, including best buddies David Williams and Noah Boken.
I don't want to say Monaco's expensive, but David and Noah have to share a hotel room. No, really, they're sharing a hotel room. We have video.
Noah is one of two former EPT champs in the field. The other is Mark Telcher.
Ah, he won an EPT. That's where I know him from.
While it's Mark Telcher who's headlining our main stage today, he won EPT London in 2005, and 2 years later came close to winning a second European Poker Tour title. Now, he's determined to give his table a masterclass in old school poker.
I really, really wanted to win the second one. It's what I came here to win, and that's what I'm going to try and do.
Out in the field is EPT1 Copenhagen champion Noah Boken and American pro David Williams. Close friends for 16 years, they've never gone so far in an EPT together.
To go so deep in the APT main event for me and him, of course, is very special and nice.
Hopefully we won't run across each other until the final table, and if so, you know, he's got to go just like everyone else.
Can the veterans hold their own against the stars of the future? Will the new breed rewrite the history books? Day 4 action about to get underway.
Yes, Mark Telcher EPT winner. I was thinking of a totally different guy. You know who I was thinking of? Bronson Pinchot.
No more bluff against me. Okay. I remember sixes.
I remember it too.
Those two could have a comedy act. Stern and Stern.
Well, online qualifier Jack Salter will also have a seat at that outer table. And there's another online qualifier, Sebastian Bretthauer, playing in his first ever live tournament.
And just in case you needed to know what David Williams looked like 5 minutes ago, I'm gonna take a selfie.
Meanwhile, his good friend Noah Boken is running a tad late.
Dude, how funny would it be if David turned off his alarm? He's all yoink on his alarm clock. Oh man, this is like Run Lola Run, only with a slightly less female main character.
Hi guys,
Hello.
welcome to the TV table.
Thank you. Welcome.
If this is your first time, just sit there, relax, you know, enjoy yourself, and please don't feel any pressure.
Are you going to tell him not to play any big pots with you also? Or just me? I'm the guy to your left.
Just you.
Well, the guy Telcher was talking to across the table is Miroslav Alilovic, who's been seated between the two big stacks, Roker and Von Toperzer, plus Vasily Fursau, who came 10th in this tournament last year. Steve Silverman and Emil Patel also at this 8-handed feature table. Blinds 5,000, 10,000 with a 1,000 ante. Action folded to Telcher.
The Telch bomb.
Ace Queen offsuit. And from under the gun +2, he raises to 20,000.
Trying to figure out what a Telcher would be. Like, what is Telching? Need to figure that out first.
Mayo Roker with pocket 10s. Just calls in the cutoff. Ace-5 for Ililovic on the button.
This is probably a fold against a raise and a call. Lay sigh.
That's a 3-bet.
Pretty weak hand to 3-bet.
Ace-King for first out.
And Ililovic has done changed the dynamic here.
I win.
First out shoves.
And this should get folds.
On top, Hertz gives up the big blind. It's back on Telcher.
You were a very lucky guy.
Scary. Oh, maybe he's gonna go for it.
How much is it?
Oh boy, oh boy. I guess Mark's got to at least consider that Vasily's just getting silly, but I think he's crushed most of the time, and I think he thinks it too.
254.
Telcher folds. Roka's out.
Ililovic, you old son of a gun.
Yeah, he passes. And first out just increased his stack by nearly 50%.
Without seeing a flop. Merci, Miroslav.
Nice hand.
Of course, nice hand.
There's just so many ways to take that, and most of them are pretty awkward.
At the secondary feature table, Sebastian Bretthauer has moved all in.
And I think this ace-king is going to get through, too.
David Williams has folded, so action is back on the original raiser, Nicholas Petrangelo.
Hey, Nicky Petrangelo.
Sorry. Before it looked like
He's not to know that he's dominated.
206.
But they're suited.
He passes. And there's no way that Dylan Honeyman is calling with 8-10.
Honeyman!
I fold the puzzle.
I folded big hand. I had a big hand. Nice hand.
Sebastian Bretthauer still below average, but a strong contender to be our next online qualifier.
I'm nervous about taking on Bretthauer because I'm not really doing carbs right now.
At the outer tables, Jack Salter is facing a 3-bet from Donnie Stern. And he wants to move all in.
Triangle, please.
When he does that, he looks like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
The shove is for 15 big blinds. Both blinds pass. As does Setman, the original raiser.
Donnie's already got chips in the middle.
He calls.
Call, table 4.
Salter tables jacks. Stern has king-9 suited.
Pretty light call. It is going to have equity, though.
Jack on the flop.
That's good as well. 10 of hearts will be bad.
You gotta respect the back doors,
10 of hearts will be really GG.
Salter has to fade a queen on the river. He doubles up.
Jack wins by flopping a set of jacks.
151, yeah.
Jack Salter, another contender for our online qualifier. At the secondary feature table, David Williams in action. He's limped the small blind and is now facing a raise from Ivan Sojnikov in the big blind.
Not a bad time to get a little weird.
Williams moves all in. And Sojnikov folds.
You've got an ace, you know you've got equity no matter what. You're blocking your opponent from having an ace. The big blind's going to raise you pretty light when you're that short. Really well done, David Williams.
Still reasonably short, though, around 25 big blinds. How's his buddy Noah Boken getting on? Sandwiched between a couple of big stacks. And Noah will fold to Eros Nastasi's raise.
Mernig in position, which means he can pretty much do anything here. And he can do it pretty wide. Well, except fold. He's probably not folding pretty wide.
Mernig re-raises. It's a 3-bet to 48,000, which gets through the blinds.
That's Nastasi.
And the Italian mucks.
Can I hit it in the Mernig? Nice job.
The German qualifier, still the chip leader. Playing nearly 1.17 million. Another German qualifier sits in second, Sebastian von Toppertzer is the only other 7-figure stack in the room, currently playing 104 big blinds. And he's in action at our feature table. He called Miroslav Alilovic's pre-flop raise and has flopped a straight draw. Alilovic with second pair and a gut shot.
Both these guys have got hands that look way better than they actually are.
Alilovic checks the flop, he doesn't continue. Von Toppertzer bets 25k.
Pretty standard bluff after your opponent gives up the betting lead. You take a little whack, maybe they fold. Maybe you set up a bigger bluff later. You know, just a little whack, a little poke.
Alilovic calls and turns 2 pair, but that is Broadway for von Toppertzer.
Nut straight.
Alilovic checks for a second time.
Now Miroslav's hand looks way better than it really is.
Von Toppertzer fires again, 55,000.
What do you do? Just fold after you improve? Nah. Seriously, you probably shouldn't.
No change on the river. Alilovic checks again.
Even though there's a flush out there and he's been called twice, Broadway's just too strong for Sebastian to not bet here.
122,000.
And by that same logic, Alilovic should find a fold simply because he's only beating bluffs, and this would be a bad spot to bluff.
He does find a fold. And von Toppertzer is back on top. He's the chip leader once again.
Did you say von Toppertzer is on Toppertzer?
Kind of. The economics student who qualified online is faring well on day 4. Unlike one of our former EPT champs, Noah Boken, he is short stacked and he is all in. The Stasi open to 20,000. Boken's shove is for 173,000.
Well, if that gumball machine digital watch is any indication, this man makes good decisions.
He folds. Noah Boken's shove gets through, but he is still in the danger zone.
Danger zone!
And even though there are still a few big names like Noah Boken in this field, it's the unknowns who are making waves in the EPT Grand Final.
Wow, it is even bigger than I would have expected.
It is a gorgeous building.
How much money can you make from hosting a talk show?
Joe, it's the Monte Carlo Opera House, not the Monte Carlo Opera House.
Oh man, everyone is gonna be super disappointed when they look under their seats.
You ignoramus. Welcome back to day 4 of the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. Close friends Noah Boken and David Williams have never got this far in a tournament together. Today's a chance to reflect on the early days of their friendship.
I think me and David first met when I was 16 or 17 years old.
I believe it was 1998.
We used to play Magic the Gathering, the trading card game.
We were both teenagers. We were both one of some of the best in the game, and I don't know how we became friends because he was from Amsterdam, I was from Texas, but we hit it off, and we've been really close ever since.
And then one of my friends one day just said, "Hey, I'm playing poker online." I'm like, "What's that, poker?" I mean, I played sometimes for nickels for nothing.
And I ran into some guys who I knew who were at a table, and they had cards out, and they had chips. And I was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And they're like, "We're playing Texas Hold'em."
And we're all like, "Hey guys, I think we need to get into poker." And that's how we started playing, started learning, started getting better.
So what kept us together before poker was the Magic circuit. And once we both started playing poker, it was just natural because poker has its own tour too. That just gave us more stops to see each other at.
Pretty much every EPT we've been coming through, we've been sharing rooms most of the time, yeah.
It's funny, last night at dinner, Noah was like, man, we stay together every EPT, and I don't think we've ever both made day 2 at the same time. Either one of us makes it and the other one does it, and the other one's just sitting around waiting and rooting. He's like, this is so crazy, we're both here on day 4.
To go so deep in the APT main event for me and him, of course, very special and nice, because like I can't remember that we both were so deep in the money and have a chance on the final table.
Hopefully we won't run across each other until the final table, and if so, you know, he's got to go just like everyone else.
Pretty cool to see two friends so deeply in love. I'd say get a room, but they already have one.
Well, David Williams is in action at the secondary feature table. He's raised with deuces.
7 folds, the puck goes to seat 1. Button on 6, and we change the dealer.
Thank you. Oh, thanks.
Williams wins it uncontested. Over to Noah Boken. He's in the big blind.
You don't look? I look. You sure? I'm sure. I'm not sure. I can't even be the blind guy.
Noah folds.
I don't think he meant blind guy.
No, it's nothing. It's garbage. No. You know you can't show anything good. You know.
You think I open and I never see
It's the
car?
same. You never.
I don't see car?
You don't. You don't fool smart.
I look.
You don't.
Two separate conversations going on there, I think. Yay, English.
Well, Nastasi is currently 4th in chips, and the guy on Boken's left, Malte Mernig, is 2nd on the leaderboard. Sebastian von Toppertzer remains chip leader with 37 players remaining. Back at the main feature table, Miroslav Ililovic is raised under the gun with ace-king.
Nailed it.
Action on Mark Telcher on the button, 9-7 off.
Well, he's capped his cards. This is what we like to call a bluff.
Telcher 3 bets to 57k. Action folded back around to Ililovic.
He's got a couple of options here, but at a position, most players are going to opt to do what we like to call a 4-bet.
Mark Telcher is the effective stack with 248,000 behind.
He is at risk. Looks like Ililovic is going to use his gaming chips to raise.
Please.
It's a 4-bet to 167,000. Action back on Telcher.
Really? You're that strong?
Strong enough to open a month-old jar of pickles, and besides, we know you're folding. Drink that water on your own time.
All right, I said. Take it.
This poor guy thinks Telcher just folded queens.
Ililovic chips up to 577,000. And we're heading to the outer tables where Jack Salter is all in. He's been called by Vladimir Troinovsky. Salter way ahead with aces against ace-10.
This is about as big a dog as you can be pre-flop.
Well, a 10 on the flop gives Troinovsky a little bit of hope.
Hey, Vlad.
He's got 2 outs, but he doesn't hit. So Jack Salter doubles up again.
And this hand wasn't exactly a cooler. In fact, it's looking like a steamer.
4-bet call from under the gun with ace-10 against my aces. What? The craziness pays off, bro.
Vlad may have miscalculated his Mighty Morphin power range.
Troinovsky left with just 97,000. Over to the secondary feature table. David Williams has raised the button. Nicholas Petrangelo defends his big blind, so heads up to the flop. Second pair for Petrangelo. Just a backdoor draw for Williams.
Williams probably going to fire.
He continues for 31,000.
And sure, why not? You got a pair, it's up against a button raise, call.
The turn card is a king. 2 pair for Petrangelo. Williams drawing dead.
David's about to barrel twice on a board where he's going to have close to no equity when he's called.
54,000.
This is actually a pretty good board in general to do this on, though. It's just unlucky that the turn card was so good for him to bluff at and so good for his opponent.
Petrangelo calls. The river is an ace, pairing the board.
Annoying run out for David.
Check, check. Petrangelo shows the winner.
Williams maybe could have gotten a fold on the river, but had to check it because it was such a bad card. And Petrangelo, he played it pretty well too.
And he is among the chip leaders with a stack of 957,000.
You think he wears glasses just so he can pull off that sexy librarian look?
And David Williams is a shorty, just 17 big blinds.
Love me some shouties.
One of the tournament's short stacks is all in. Vladimir Troianovski has shoved with a flush draw and been called by Donnie Stern with top pair.
Like a girl you've been dating for an embarrassingly long time, he is looking for a diamond.
No help on the turn or on the river. Vladimir Troianovski eliminated in 37th place.
Donnie Stern's still below average. Even his V-neck is deeper than his stack. And there goes one of the more experienced players. Assuming he goes. Is he all right?
Over to the secondary feature table. Three-way to the flop. Grzegorz Viraj's flop trips. Sebastian Bretthauer has a flush draw. And it's the guy with 4% equity who's doing the betting.
Yeah, like the Star Wars prequels, this is just not going to work. And it's not going to work multiple times.
Action on Bretthauer. Facing a bet of 24,000. He moves all in.
Well, there's the attack of the clones. It also doesn't work.
Viraj is a 71% favorite here. He reshoves.
Hey, Nicky Petrangelo, why don't you get out of here? What are you waiting for? Beat it.
He folds. So Bretthauer is at risk and needs a club to survive. Does anyone want to show their cards?
He's drawing live.
8 immediate outs.
All right, we got that one all set. Let's get that one all set. Is everyone good? Everyone ready? Okay. Here we go.
Ace of clubs on the turn, the nut flush for Bretthauer. Doesn't want to see the board pair on the river, though. It's a jack, so Bretthauer more than doubles up.
Thank you.
And Joe, it's official. I'm making him our online qualifier.
Yes, great choice. Question, if Sebastian Bretthauer is the online qualifier, will we have to change his name to Sebastian Toasthauer? I'm going to go over here now.
I actually pictured the eel's face there. Sebastian Bretthauer is 23 years old. He's from Hanover in Germany. He qualified for this tournament using his frequent player points. It's his first live event.
More like Sebastian Free Roller.
Back up to the main stage where there's been a button raised from Lats. Mark Telcher is in the small blind.
This hand is bordering on too weak to cold call. New school of thought is to 3-bet it.
He just calls. Not much for Emil Patel in the big blind. He passes. So heads up to the flop, and Lats has his opponent dominated, plus he has the advantage of position.
I love Lats. I love every kind of Lats.
Whoa, top pair for Lats and 2 pair for Telcher.
This is really bad for Lats. I want to hug him, but you can't hug every Lats.
No doubt he'll continue with top pair, top kicker. $26,000.
I love the bet, if he weren't smashed. Telcher could potentially raise here.
He just calls. The turn card is the 6 of hearts, puts a second flush draw out there. Telcher checks again.
And Lat should probably be firing in most cases, but not this one. Telcher is often going to have a weak ace in most cases, but also not this one.
Lats bets 58,000.
Lots of Lats' chips in there now.
But still no raise from Telcher, just a call. The river is the 3 of hearts, so the backdoor draw got there. Telcher checks for a third time.
I think this could end very badly for Lats. Well, it's definitely ending badly. How badly is the question?
Hold on.
He shoves, putting Telcher to a decision for all his chips.
Really?
I don't think he's ever folding.
Call.
He calls, and Telcher will double up through Lats.
Oh man, where's the dramatic gopher music?
Hendrik Lats, not a happy camper.
I think he thinks he just got slow rolled. Just go ahead and pay me these.
Have we done something wrong?
Huh?
Have we done something wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's a snap. I mean...
I thought for, what, 8 seconds?
Yeah, because you're like, really? I mean, you got
I
the
thought
nuts.
for 8 seconds. I haven't got the nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean slow roll. I
Yeah,
apologise.
that's
I
all right.
genuinely apologise. I didn't mean to slow roll
it's
you.
all
You can
right.
ask White Lamb, I never do that kind of... I never behave that way.
66.
Right? I didn't mean to slow roll.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's reasonable to think for 8 seconds. He wasn't gonna fold.
I think they both have a case.
He didn't have the nut flush or anything.
This would be a great time for that new feature I've been pitching, Judge Jody.
Good hand.
Overruled.
I genuinely didn't
know.
And speaking of slow rolls, look at that thing. It's just agonizing.
So do you have a favorite opera?
So many good ones. The Magic Flute, Don Giovanni, The Marriage of Figaro.
Do you know any operas that weren't in the movie Amadeus?
Only 34 players remain here at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. And before the break, Mark Telcher doubled up through Hendrik Lats.
My opponent was an aggressive player, so I knew I had to defend my blinds, because obviously you have to defend your blinds. The most important part of this hand is when my opponent raised on the button, I looked down at my cards. Normally you have two choices. You can raise, or you can call with ace-5 of spades. Folding would clearly be a mistake. Now the problem with this hand is, if I raise, there's too strong a chance that my opponent will go all in, and I would have to fold at that stage. That's why I chose to call with the hand, so I could play the hand with a flop, and therefore at that point I can evaluate and see what to do. And when the flop came down, I hit it. I hit it almost as hard as I could possibly hit the hand, so I was absolutely thrilled. I checked, hoping he would fire 3 streets with a weak hand, and if he had an ace, even better. And of course he made a continuation bet. I called that. No, it wasn't until the turn when I knew I was in a very strong position. I was expecting him to check back the turn. When he did lead out, I was delighted. It was a sign that either he had a reasonable hand, which I could still beat, or he was bluffing. So I took my time, so as not to give away that I was very strong. I called. My opponent went all in on the river.
Hold on.
Obviously there was a chance I was beat. Call. Thankfully he didn't have 2 pairs, and I was able to take down that pot. It's a test of wits. Timing. When to bluff, when not to bluff. Switching through the gears is, for me, the most fun part of poker.
The part of Mark's plan I like the best, flopping 2 pair with ace-5.
Blinds are currently 6-12. Miroslav Ililovic raising the button with 8-9 suited. Fabiano Kowalski's just joined the feature table. He folds. Sebastian von Toppertzer in the big blind.
Well, you heard Mark Telcher. You gotta defend your big blind.
5-6.
Oh yeah, 5-6, defo.
He calls the 26,000. And flops second pair. Not much for Ililovic. Action has been checked to him.
Yeah, but it is standard to continue when you miss this hard.
He bets 24,000.
Can't fold a pair. Pair. Come on.
There's the call.
The jack come off again. I think it's getting harder.
Take it easy, right said Fred.
2 pair for Von Topouter. Alilovic picks up a gut shot.
Oh, and this is going to be a weird little lead. He probably wants to make sure it's not going to get checked back, but I do think that this is a board where a lot of folks are going to double barrel.
62,000.
When you bet here, you take away your opponent's ability to bluff, and he just folds on you. Folds like a ham and liquor store in Saudi Arabia.
Hang on a second. Alilovic isn't folding.
Well, I'd like to see this guy's business model.
Alilovic is raising. 152,000 total.
Spewovich? I think the move is to just call here. Alilovic is repping less than Steven Merchant in extras.
Von Topouter does call. And we go to the river with 426,000 in the middle.
I think the move is to call there and then call almost any river.
Well, what a run out for Von Topouter. He fills up on the river.
This is one of the few rivers you don't call. You raise it. You raise it like a baby named Arizona.
He's checked it to Alilovic, who's going to bluff again. 130,000.
There's what's right and there's what's right, and never the twain shall meet.
I'm all in.
Von Topouter shoves.
See ya.
And Alilovic gives it up. So the German qualifier boosts his chip lead. He is now playing more than 1.8 million.
And with glasses like that, we should probably call the show Sebastian von Topouter's Excellent Adventure.
Listen.
Thank you.
He's 25 years old, he's from Lomar, and he won his seat into this 10,000 euro tournament via a 215 euro satellite.
Lomar of the Hill People.
And he's out in front with 150 big blinds. Eros Nastasi is now second on the leaderboard, with Malte Mernig dropping into third. 5 players in the tournament now have more than 1 million chips. 34 remain. And there's an all-in at the secondary feature table. Dylan Honeyman at risk and dominated by our qualifier.
I had a girlfriend that called me Honeyman. I was also dominated.
The flop has an ace on it, but no 6. So Brett Hauer still way ahead. Honeyman drawing to 3 outs. The river's a 5. So Dylan Honeyman eliminated in 34th place.
Oh man, Honeyman is so sweet. He's gonna move all those chips and everything.
Those chips slide across to our online qualifier, Sebastian Bretthauer, who is now an above-average stack.
We chose wisely.
I'm Sebastian Bretthauer. I'm from Hanover, Germany. I'm 23 years old. I'm studying in Hamburg Media and Communication Management, and I'm a full-time student. I first started to play poker at a friend's house, and I didn't know what it was. 2 years later, I started playing online and opened an account, but I was playing really, really low and got no money at all. Last year, I got better and better. I won a tournament with $11 buy-ins and made like 1.2K. This is the first time I played in a live tournament. Satellite steps, I started with 100 FPP. I didn't even know what I was playing for. When I got to the third step, I started to look what the whole thing is for, and then I got to know that it's for the grand final here in Monaco. The night before, I was not nervous at all. I was just excited for what's going to happen on the next day. When I came into the tournament, my goal was just to have some fun, to play my best poker and look how far I would get. I never thought about getting in the money or even deeper. Win this event, it would be a dream come true, because it's like a story, a miracle story.
Oh, this kid is on the list of people I'm rooting for.
A former EPT champ has just declared all in. Noah Boken at risk, but ahead.
Domination Nation, Boken's Godfather 2, Nastasi Godfather 3, which should be extra sad for an Italian.
Boken a 70% favorite to double up. Well, a decent flop for Nastasi. He's up and down. Boken back to being a big favourite. But the Italian rivers are straight.
Can't believe it. Godfather 3-1. I don't know what that means.
We lose one of our former champs.
Bad beat for Noah blind on blind. Nice hand, Eros.
And time for Noah to tell the tale to David Williams and Nacho Barbero.
Doesn't it look like they're talking about finding him and giving him a wedgie in the parking lot later? Is that just me?
While Eros Nastasi is still second in chips, with Sebastian von Toppertzer closing in on the 2 million mark. Meanwhile, our qualifier is now on the leaderboard. Sebastian Bretthauer is 10th overall with a stack of 662,000. Back to the main feature table, where Steve Silverman has raised the button. Actions on Mark Telcher in the big blind.
Mark Telcher, more animated than The Simpsons.
He calls.
He's like the anti-Steve Silverman.
Ace Jack 5 on the flop.
I think in position, Steve's gonna win this pot a lot.
Telcher checks. Silverman with a gut shot.
I also think Steve already knew what he would do on this exact board before the flop. Maybe he just doesn't want to make it seem like he's already decided. Think about that.
He continues for 36,000 and Telcher folds.
Man, Steve Silverman's gone dark lately. It's like he's wearing the black suit from Spider-Man 3.
Mark Telcher, the last remaining EPT champ, is a below average stack. As we head over to the secondary feature table, where short stack David Williams has shoved with kings, actions on our qualifier in the small blind.
How much? You should really wait to ask until it's on you, because you influence the action now, that he knows you have interest.
Whoops.
As soon as he asked, he then asked me. That's the
I mean,
reason I answered.
he should just not say anything in that spot, because now it's like telling him he might play, now he might fold. I mean, it's just, it's messed up.
Correct. If David knew what Brett Howard was tanking with, he'd think that's even more messed up. What are you doing?
He folds. And Antonio Buonanno has junk in the big blind.
Apparently he didn't have interest.
See, he might have played, and then you made him think, and you killed my action. I mean, you never know.
Yeah. That's why when I told you you had to wait, and then he asked.
I can say it didn't influence.
But either way, it shouldn't ask until it's on him.
I can't test.
You have to wait till it's your turn. That's why I didn't give you the answer until he looked at me for the number, and then I said the number because he had asked. Okay. But that's why I didn't answer you the first time, was because you have to ask in turn.
Look, we all make mistakes.
If you want to play in an EPT event, go to PokerStars.com. There are qualifiers every day.
So Prince Albert married Princess Charlene here in 2011, and you know how they say that every girl is a princess on her wedding day? Well, this one was an actual princess.
Maybe one day.
People are starting to stare.
Here at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final, our feature table headliner Mark Telcher is the last remaining EPT champion. He hopes experience will get him to another final table.
What I would really like to do is to get a big chip stack going into the final table, so I'd have a very, very good opportunity to win this competition. It mean a lot to me.
You guys hear that? It would mean a lot to him, so, you know, he's pretty much got this thing locked up.
Blinds are still 6,000, 12,000 with a 2,000 ante. 31 players remain. Action at the feature table is on Majoroka. He folds under the gun. Miroslav Ililovic has 8-9. He passes. Sebastian von Toppertzer is out. Silverman folds, as does Latz.
You can fold, it's okay. No shame in it.
How genius is this? How's no one ever thought of this? Dude, keep it up. It was working.
Telcher in the small blind has king-queen.
No shame in folding.
That's it.
Would you have a chance? 250.
Keep working on him. He'll fold this. Come on.
He's not folding. He raises to 32,000. Emil Patel has ace-6.
This is a standard see at the river type scenario developing here.
All in.
He shoves.
If you're raising king-queen there, you gotta call with king-queen there.
Wow. Really?
The classic Telcher line.
Told you not to do it.
He did.
Cool.
Telcher calls. Patel at risk.
One of those unavoidable confrontations.
You want to chop it? Best of luck, mate.
I'm favored, but I think I would chop it if I had the option.
I am definitely with him.
Well, Mark Telcher has flopped a gut shot.
The sweat.
Always a sweat.
Yep.
The turn card is an 8. 10 outs for Telcher. Kings, queens, and tens all working for him.
Same sweat, just a little less sweat.
And a blank on the river, meaning Emil Patel will double up.
How much?
It always seems like less before you make the call.
It's a decent chunk of Telcher's stack.
All right?
Yep. Put that one on top and you're good.
255.
Telcher down to 284,000. And over at the secondary feature table, David Williams is having a frustrating day.
Shh, shh, shh. This is his new one-man show. It's 45 minutes of him reading and sending text messages. It's brilliant.
Meanwhile, you'll notice our qualifier is missing because he's moved tables.
He looks like a quala snoozer right now. I think we need a qualifier curfew. We're investing in you.
Well, he's still on the leaderboard. In fact, the top 10 is dominated by qualifiers, including Jack Salter from the UK, Kenny Hicks from the US, and the two Germans at the top, Mernig and von Toppertzer. The latter now playing more than 1.9 million. Oh, looks like David Williams is about to be all in again. He's facing a 3-bet from Antonio Bonanno.
The 3-bet's okay, unless David's been playing super tight.
Williams shoves. Rudzi was the original raiser. He's passed.
148. 148.
Oh, caddy. Rare.
Bonanno calls.
Like upgrading to the large popcorn, he was kind of priced in.
So David Williams finally gets action when he has a big hand.
And he finally got his soda.
Just has to fade an ace on the turn and river.
Yeah, this guy's got no backdoors.
3 outs for the Italian. It's a deuce on the river. Williams doubles up.
A double up and a delicious, tasty beverage. Life just does not get much better.
He's got around 20 big blinds now. We're playing 8,000, 16,000 with a 2,000 ante. Back to the action on the main stage.
Come on.
Ah, remember?
It's been folded to Mark Telcher in the small blind.
I think he's just supposed to jam.
And he does. King Jack for Patel.
Count it, please.
And I think he's just supposed to call. Train wreck coming.
233. I had my finger on
Yeah.
Are you strong?
All about the math here, or maths if you spell color with a U.
I call.
Call?
Definitely supposed to call this, but I think you're tight in this spot. Yeah.
Did you have to call?
I had to call.
Telcher is ahead, but he's the player at risk this time.
And he's not way ahead.
Well, 1 inch is fair, right?
Yeah.
Please, can we get the rights to Thriller for this kid?
Ace high, still ahead. Emil Patel looking for a king or a jack. And he'll need to hit on the river if he's to eliminate the last remaining former EPT winner.
I like his chances. He's not like other boys.
A double up for Mark Telcher.
No, I want blues.
You want blues?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna give him to you.
That's beautiful.
It's weird how get it quietly is a phrase, but get it loudly isn't. Oh, wait. No, it's not.
Penny up 2,000, 816 on the glass.
How about a 9-10? 9-10? Nice 9-10 when you won.
Nice hand.
Fist bump? Denied. Love it.
Telcher back up to 480k.
I got you on camera, Dave.
Oh, and Nacho Barbero's stolen one of our cameras.
You look really good from here. But, okay, you got it.
And he's had enough.
But it's only black and white. Crazy. You can see only black and white.
Out of context, that sounds like a beautiful poetic statement. Listen to Nacho. We need to learn to see more than just black and white.
Back to the main feature table where Emil Patel is all in and racing against Miroslav Alilovic. A queen on the flop, Patel ahead, and now a 90% favorite to double up.
I think Alilovic might be rich in his real life, but I still kind of feel bad for him. He's so sad.
Don't feel bad for him. 6 on the turn, Patel drawing dead and out.
Gamer.
Take him out, Steve. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, we lost Emil. But look at Miroslav, he's so happy.
He's now among the chip leaders. And Emil Patel came 51st last year, 28th this year.
Well, by that math, he's due to finish 5th or better next year. Just hang in there, buddy. It's science.
Alilovic now playing more than 1.2 million. And another elimination to tell you about. Villa Valbeck has just gone in 26th place.
So what now? We put him to work in audio? Him and Nacho could be a little camera crew? Make sure you get him a color camera.
And things are not looking good for Christoph Vogelsang. Drawing to a chop. Out.
Sorry. All right. GG.
Our 25th place finisher, collecting 36,700 euros.
I think.
It was Martin Sealis who did the dirty.
That's okay. Christoph has to go catch Pierce Brosnan in the Thomas Crown affair.
So we are down to 24 players. Stop the clock. It's time for a redraw. And so far, day 4 has been a pretty good day for the qualifiers in this tournament.
I want to catch him from here.
Including our qualifier. Sebastian Bretthauer, 10th in chips. Midway through the day, it's the other Sebastian, von Topherzer, who leads with nearly 1.8 million. The experienced pros are among the short stacks, but crucially, both David Williams and Mark Telcher are still alive.
You know, I feel better every day that I play. I'm really enjoying myself. I feel good. I came 11th one year, so I've got to this position before, and hopefully speaking, I will be able to get a better result this time around.
Next time, will the redraw make or break the final 24?
Was that really necessary?
Yeah.
Can the EPT veterans keep it together? Or will the online qualifiers teach the old dogs some new tricks?
People are going to find it reasonably difficult to play against, and I'm not going to give them an easy time.